Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us tonight, RPM Mid-Gear Round 11, the USA Stella Artois Grand Prix. I'm RPM Spritzy, and joining me in the comms booth tonight is RPM Jones. I don't know if you're there, Jones. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, mate. How are you today?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to some racing. It's now 31 minutes past the hour, and I presume 31 minutes past the hour everywhere.
It is. And that translates to Stella o'clock.
Yes, and that's my first Murray Walker quote crossed off for tonight.
Very good. Oh my God, you got a list, have you, mate?
Yeah.
Well, a very warm welcome. Let's get some details up on screen. We are a little bit behind because a certain coordinator in mid-gear decided to ready up before asking comms if we were ready, which we weren't. We were talking about last night's race in low gear, which was a bit of a challenge, I have to say. For those of you that are joining us in the chat, it would be fantastic if you could just let us know if the audio is okay, both mine and Jones, and also the game volume, and we will try and keep you updated as we go. As the guys now head out off on their outlaps, we will just take a quick look at the championship standings and the calendar. So we are now on round 11 here in USA Austin at COTA, and next week is the final round at Belgium Spa, which will conclude season 2. Our championship in mid-gear is led by Boris in the Alpine with 212 points. He has a 44-point gap on Ellen Cron, but Boris, you will notice there, has 8 penalty points, which was topped out last round with 2 penalty points. So that means that tonight Boris will be serving a quali ban, which means he should come out, do a lap to get his setup on, an out lap, and then move back in and retire. So that will probably be what happens tonight. So Boris is in the lead, will be starting at the back of the grid. We got Cron in second place in the Mercedes, 44 points behind. We've got Huss in the Red Bull in third place with 7 points behind Cron, so he'll be looking to close that gap tonight. We got Deck in the other Red Bull. These two guys are inseparable. Deck's 14 points behind Huss. I'm sure that they're going to finish on equal points. We've got Luke in 5th place in the Ferrari, so team principal Supremo Richie is joining us in the chat tonight, the Don, so he's going to be looking for Ferrari to get a good result. Good evening, Richie. We've then got Shiggs in 7th place, who's no longer racing with us, I'm afraid. Work commitments have said that Shiggs has had to step out, so Shiggs is not there. I'll answer that in a minute, Colin, if you don't mind. We've got Eek in 8th place in the Mercedes, and 9th we've got Mirko, 10th Flying Boy Val. In the Constructors, a little bit tighter. We've got Alpine leading the Constructors by 9 points from Red Bull, with Ferrari only 2 points behind Red Bull. So we have got an absolute battle coming tonight for the Constructors. And hopefully, Jones, that's going to bring us some really good racing. What's been happening while we've been away at those championship standings?
Well, Flying Boy Val's been the first to set a time. We're 1:33.3.
Oh, as Law goes
go,
fastest
Lau.
with a 1:32.8.
Yeah, and it's and there we go, Craigo on the mediums, and Cron up there as well. It's as you all know from last night, it's one of those tracks that if you nail it, it feels amazing. It's very difficult to tie all 3 sectors together. I know from myself, like I'd nail sector one time, and then just somehow on the more simple sectors just really screwed them up towards the end of the lap.
Yeah, I didn't particularly have a great quali myself, I have to say. It's a wheel disconnect on the final lap didn't help. But yeah, it's a strange track because I think it's a track that you kind of need a lot of downforce for sector 2, and then you've got these long straights as well which come into play, so it's a trade-off between how much downforce do you put on and what the top speed is. But generally I quite like the track. I don't know if you like it, but I quite like it. I love this corner that Luke's on here, this fast flowing right-hander. The next left I absolutely hate.
Yeah.
As my penalties would tell you.
Personally, for me, I'm not a biggest fan of the track, but I think it does make for interesting racing. Obviously, the first sector is, if you nail it, feels beautiful, but it's not really a massive overtaking opportunity through there. Obviously, the big overtaking is the massive straight in sector 2. But I think because it's so hard to nail some of these sectors, people can make mistakes, and you can end up overtaking, as we saw a few overtakes last night, in areas of the track you just do not expect.
Yeah, absolutely. As we found out, as Deck
not
goes
that
fastest.
I was doing any of that.
Did you not do any overtaking,
anyone.
mate?
I think I managed to get some nice overtakes when everyone sat in the pit lane. That was probably the extent of it for me.
When they were on
when they were stopped by their mechanics.
Happens to us all. On board with Huss. Not set a lap yet. Huss in the Red Bull. Had a difficult start to the season, Huss, and I think just adjusting to mid-gear, but then come back really consistent throughout the last few rounds. So Huss is going to be looking to close that gap as he comes into... He's not on an out lap. He must be on a quick lap, but he's on the softs as well. We've only got Craigo that's set a lap on the mediums as Huss takes that right. He's going to come into the left-hander.
Yeah, and looking at this, we got a 42 gap, is it, to Boris in first, and he'll be disappointed to see straight away that Deck, Cron are right up there, some of his championship rivals.
Well, Cron, I think it was 40 something points in there, so I'll have a quick check in a moment. But to answer Colin's question about the title music before the stream went live, so each week we ask a different driver to choose the music for the stream, and the week before was Boris with some heavy metal music, his choice. And this week we asked RPM Always Rick, and he told me that one of his favourite tunes of all time was Kylie Minogue Spinning Around. So it was his week this week, so I hope you all enjoyed that track. So, moving back to the action, who's next on a fast lap? We've got RPM Dragos here.
And I think Rodo's coming up to the line.
Is he? Will try and move. He is. Rodo goes ninth with a 1:33.0.
Yeah, so improved by nearly 4 tenths there.
I think
Deck's flying out of the gate, isn't he? No.
This track does take a bit of rubbering in, do you think? Last night I noticed that the first lap was very different to the second, and then the second was very different to the third. So maybe this track is going to evolve.
Yeah, I think I improved my time by maybe 1.2 seconds from the first banker I put in.
1.2 seconds? Did you stop for a coffee?
I mean, maybe we should speak to Low Gear and be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm in fourth in the championship.
Okay, let's move.
There's been a lot of pit stops for coffees on my laps.
Yeah,
I think at this corner Rodo's on now on the straight behind you, I tried to spin round for a coffee. That was the issue.
We've got Val on a lap. He's 2/10 up at the end of Sector 1 in the AlphaTauri, so Val will be looking to turn this. Always makes you a bit nervous when you can see that Delta time green top right, praying that it doesn't turn red.
Yeah, and it can become very distracting. I know from myself, I wish I had a bit of masking tape over it, because I tend to look at that too much when I'm up and not actually look where I'm driving sometimes.
As Val comes up to the end of the straight, I wonder where he's going to go on Sector 2. I have checked the TAS system, and we are in for a full dry race. So full dry quali, full dry race, so that's good. As Val comes into this left-hander, I'm still trying to pick up where the end of Sector 2 is. I must have just missed that. So if I look on the TAS, he's gone personal best with a 37.3 for Sector 2 as he comes through penultimate left-hander, decent exit. That last corner's really tricky, gets on the power, and Val goes 7/10 quicker than his first lap. So that puts Val up into second, so he'll be really, really pleased with that. Who have we next got coming through on a lap? Looks to be an Alpine. Is it Marco? No, Williams maybe. Is it Mirko? It is Mirko. Mirko's not set a lap yet. He's invalidated this one, so I wonder if he's going to go again.
Yeah, and I think Cron also is on a lap, but he'll be disappointed he's half second down through the first two sectors. Oh, and Luke spun out at the last corner, I think that. So people just have to be careful coming round.
So we've got RPM Always Rick that's not set a time, and we've got Mirko that's not set a time. So we'll have to keep a little idea.
Yeah, and I think Rick originally tried to go out on the mediums, didn't he? So that might be why, but he seems to be... I think he's just leaving the pits now, actually, as we're talking.
We're on board with Law. Looks like we've got a bit of a sound glitch, or he's give up on the lap. So Val's on an in lap, who we know. Cron's in the pits. Luke VDM's had a spin, so that'll explain his 3.4. It's contract time, Lukey boy. Richie is watching. Colin is watching. Come on, Luke. You've got to put this together. They're looking for a big result tonight. I can see Richie getting... I hope that he doesn't go to McLaren and try to bribe him with anything in the back of the pits, but that's for a bit later on. So we've got Marco, who's on an out lap.
Yeah, Mirko's on a flyer now, trying to set his first time. He's not invalidated in the first sector, which can be easily done.
Right, well, let's jump on board with Mirko. Mirko had an awesome start to the season and then just seems to drop off a bit, but I think he's changed to no assists halfway through the season.
Yeah, and it does take a bit of getting used to when you change your settings like that.
So we've got Backer joining us in the chat, telling us that Rick is afraid of the pressure. Maybe it's because it's the week that he chose the intro music. I don't know. We've got a yellow in Sector 3. Looks to be an AlphaTauri or Aston Martin. Not quite sure.
Maybe the next time Rick chooses it'll be Under Pressure by Queen then.
Could be Under Pressure, could be, or it could be Tina Turner, Simply the Best. But we're not going to go through the jukebox, Jones. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. Wait till the safety cars. Oh, Mirko nearly. Mirko, what was that?
See, he seemed to have it all together. Run wide into the entry of the last corner, and then I don't know if he tried to get on the power too soon and just lost it completely.
Or did he try to move out the way for somebody?
It was a strange incident. I mean, whilst he was doing that, he still managed to put himself up to 8th.
So he did get, so he got the lap in then.
Yeah. He might need a new front wing.
He might need to go and change his underwear as well after looking at that after that crash. Oh, Marco,
and Huss is about to cross the line, and he's gone fourth.
Fourth, Huss, 132.6. So to put these times into perspective, Matt Johnston's time last night was a 131.9, if I remember correctly. Was it a 131.9? So
I think, was it... I can't even remember now. I was that far behind it. I couldn't even read that far up the leaderboard.
No, it might have been a 132.2. It might have been a 132.2. Maybe 131.9 was his TT. So we've got Cron. We're on board with Cron. Is Cron on a good lap? Oh, we've got Matt joining us in the chat. Welcome, Matt. Last night's winner in low gear. Everybody loves a winner. Nobody loves a big head, so don't come bragging. Where are we going to be with Cron at the end of this straight as he comes up to the end of sector 2? Let's have a look. Keep on board. Where is he? Backer says Jono for high gear. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Get him out my way.
Yeah, I absolutely agree too.
Yeah, this is the on a
constructors going
on a Wednesday. This is the anti-Jono society. On a Tuesday, pro Jono
for a whole other race. Yeah.
Well, I was watching it for a bit and it just kept jumping around. So Cron was 2/10 slower, so I don't think Cron's going to improve on this lap, and he does come into the pits. So we've got Luke on an out lap.
Dex about to finish his second run.
Ooh, improves.
It does improve, but only by 500ths.
Colin in the chat says that Jono is a high gear driver, but he's had a discussion to move. I hope you're not talking about yourself to move into low gear, Colin. That would be absolutely forbidden. Completely not part of the script.
Unless he wants to race under my gamer tag, that'll be absolutely fine.
No, we're not allowed to do that, and we all know why. So we're not swapping Jono for Colin, that's for sure.
Oh, and Rick has a moment. I think he invalidated before. He's come into the pits.
He's into the pits with 2 minutes to
set
go.
Time.
Oh, so sorry, Rick. We've not done much coverage on Rick, I have to say. So we'll catch up with Rick in the race. Oh, Dragos has just gone wide. He does have enough time, though. He does have enough time.
Luke's on a new flyer as well. He's literally matched his sector in sector 1. See if he can find some time in sector 2 and sector 3.
Yeah, just jumped on board with him now. Colin and Richie will be delighted that we're on board with Luke. Bit of coaching going on. Oh, Huss has retired. So is that in the pits or is that on track?
I think it might have been the pits. I'm not seeing any yellow flags.
Jetfish has joined us. Jetfish has joined us in the chat and made a really valid point. Is that why not put Colin in low gear because the result is the same? It's an absolute fair point, Jetfish. Yeah. Although then the race would be how many people can Colin lap?
Yeah, there might be some blue flag issues throughout.
Yeah, as long as he's colourblind, we'll be okay. Oh, Luke.
Got very close to track limits there.
He did indeed. Taking that last corner lovely. As he comes out, what is he going to be? And Luke goes quicker but stays.
But only by a 10th.
But it goes quicker but stays in 7th. Who have we got next coming up on a lap? Law is on an out lap. So Law is going to be the one to watch. We've got a McLaren there, I'm presuming that's Dragos, on an outlap as well. So we've got Law and Dragos, we'll keep up with them. We've got a Haas coming through, that must be Rodo, is it? Oh, Rodo's jumped into 4th.
Yeah, and I'm watching Rick on board as well. He's not going to make it round for a
well, it wouldn't let him out, would it? If or would it?
I'm not sure. I saw some interesting track limits. Try and get around.
Yeah, Backer's saying in the chat that Rick will cut the S's completely on his outlap. So we've got Rodo on a lap. I'm just conscious.
Yeah, I did see him on board on the S's, and it looked more like an I to me. So
he's not made it. He's not made it. He's not made it, Rick. So that's unlucky. That is unlucky. So.
And now we got a lot of people on flyers.
So you're going to have to tell me the order that these are coming through. So it looks like Dragos first to me, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Because
No.
It's that Ferrari.
Yeah. Luke's going around the last corner now.
And he's up, and he is up, and he is up as he goes around the last corner, comes across the line. Oh, Luke goes fourth.
What a time.
What a time. And after Luke, we've got...
Rodo's...
Is it Val or Lau?
I believe, at this point.
Val's in. So then we've got Lau coming across the line now. As Lau comes to go through, looks like a good exit. Oh, he goes pole.
And he's stolen pole.
He's got pole off deck. Next one coming through. We've got another Ferrari.
And Craigo's been on a flyer.
Craigo up to 8th.
He had been up in the first. Yeah, he had been up in the first 2 sectors, and he must have. I think he's 2 temps up. He must have dropped some in sector 3 there.
Got Williams next of Mirko coming through. He's followed by, I'm guessing, Rodo. So Mirko comes across the line, and Mirko goes 8th. So Mirko will be quite pleased with that. Rodo is. We've got an Alpine then of Marco. Oh, Marco goes wide there. Be disappointed with that. Yeah. Still goes quicker as well, so he must have been on a good lap. And then next one coming through is...
And he's backed out of it, I think, Rodo. Yeah.
He is. So he's in.
I think he had a bit of a moment down towards the left-hander before the straight.
And then the Rick has invalidated his in-lap. So probably just looking to get this session finished and start the race. So, he's finishing the race.
Yeah, it's all uphill from here.
So that looks like it's your grid for mid-gear. So we've got Lau on pole, Cron in second. We've got Deck and Val on the next row, second row. We've got Luke and Rodo on the third row. We've got Huss and Mirko on the fourth row. Marco and Craigo on the fifth row. Vesmacina and Equau, so we didn't see much of them in the quali, so apologies for that, guys. We will try and cover that. We got the 2 McLarens of Dragos and Always Rick, and then starting right at the back of the grid in 15th place is the championship leader RPM Boris. Backer in the chat is saying we've got Rick and Boris at the back. We know what's going to happen. Well, I don't agree with you there, Backer. I think that they are going to work their way through and have a great race. We will try and cover that as best we can. In the meantime, we just have some news for all of our viewers in RPM. So we've had news this week that the FIA are starting an investigation against RPM dating back to 2009, which involves a potential bribe with a chocolate biscuit from Ferrari to McLaren. Something about, do you fancy a breakaway? And McLaren were apparently saying, no thanks, they've got a wagon wheel. So we don't know any details about this at the moment. We've just been informed by the FIA this week. We will look into it, and we will come back to you as soon as we have any more news. I'm absolutely certain that there's nothing wrong. There's no wrongdoing there. And I'm sure that we will be fighting to clear RPM Richie's name for next week's stream. So, slight intermission there, little left field, but never mind. As we wait,
it's, as Matt Johnston clearly says, Biscuitgate, and it is, a high priority for the lawyers of RPM.
Biscuitgate does need to be solved, but we will be on it. We're going to get RPM Lucas back as our lawyer to defend Richie in Biscuitgate, and we'll report back at the final round of the season what is the outcome.
Yeah, and obviously you never want to see the massive runner of the Ferrari team in RPM in any trouble.
No, I mean, it's
luckily I left McLaren last season, so I'll just forget about it as I'm at Aston Martin.
It's all speculation, now. Jones. It's all I know, Richie. It's there's no way he would be bribing McLaren with a chocolate biscuit. There's absolutely no way. Not back in 2009, anyway. It's impossible.
And I'm not even sure Richie knows what a wagon wheel is. That might need confirmation in the chat.
Well. Anyway, all the viewers, you can be sure that we're looking into it, and everybody will be defending Richie, and absolutely we'll be putting RPM's name back where it belongs. Anyway, right, moving back to the racing. I told him I'd get that in there.
Let's see if we can have a look at
what do we think we've got here. What do we think about 1 stop or 2 stop? What are your thoughts, Jones?
I mean, Jeff, as we all know him, was recommending me the 2-stop. Trying to tell me that would be the fastest way of keeping the tyres fresh. I think with me that would need a 4-stop. I think we'll have 2 stops from the front runners and possibly a few 1-stoppers at the back, trying to elongate their tyre life a little bit. I can see it's 3 medium runners in Equal, Dragos and Boris. That's definitely on their mind.
I think Boris will go for the 1-stop because I know that Boris likes to do a 1-stop, although usually Boris does have quite high tyre wear. I'm going to switch to the Taz to see if we've got any. Can we get the weather, RPM weather forecast? Yeah, all dry.
It's beautiful sunshine. We've got no cold fronts inbound. It's looking absolutely delightful down here in Texas.
Lovely. Great night last night as well in that steakhouse. Me and Jones just couldn't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've got first runner on a medium is Eek. Wow. We've got Dragos. Rick's chosen the softs from the back of the grid. So, he's obviously looking to try and work his way through. And there could be, I guess, it depends on whether there's going to be a safety car or not, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. And you'll be expecting, obviously, Rick and Vess Messina, they might have 2 laps extra they can find on those softs. But, I mean, as we saw last night, was there 2 or 3 safety cars in the end? It is very possible that you can see that happen.
2 last night and 1 VSC. I think it was 2. And we do run reduced in RPM, so... Right, as Boris lines up, I'm going to try and get the good camera angle from Val. Hopefully this is going to change in a minute. I've got to hide the UI or Backer will fire me. So we got 1, 2, 3. We got a good one, Luke. 5 lights and Jones.
Okay, let's go.
Beautifully done. As we come up to the first corner, looks like Lau's got away really well. Cron's got away well. Oh, Deck round the outside. Nice. Good exit from Deck.
It's very tight in there, but they've kept it clean.
Oh.
And Cron and Lau really going at it.
Oh, not in the S's, boys. He's made it stick. He's made it stick. Cron is through. As it looks down the back, we've got a clean getaway. No yellows, which is great. As we do now have a yellow in Sector 2. Oh, and Dragos has retired. Dragos has retired. And is that going to be what I think it is going to be?
Just VSC at the moment, but I mean, this happened yesterday, didn't it? A few times, said VSC and then switched to a full safety car.
I've not got it on my screen. It's just coming up as a yellow flag, so that's unfortunate. Let's have a quick look at the winners and losers. Position change. Oh, not a lot, really. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2. So nothing serious there, so we'll come off that because that's boring. Back to the tyres. So this looks like you've got VSC, did you say, Jones, yeah?
Yeah, and it looks, yeah, I'd imagine we would have seen safety car called now if there was going to be one. So I'd imagine this is just going to be a VSC.
So we've got tight gaps all the way through to Mirko in 11th. So when this VSC kicks back in, are we going to see any speeding penalties? That's the question.
Well, yeah, and also who will read it better? Because I know drivers tend to slow down a bit more just to, you know, give themselves a bit of margin for error. Who can react quickest?
That is so unfortunate for Dragos, and always Rick. No,
it's green now.
Eek's pitted, and we go green. So Eek Wow was pitted.
I'm guessing, yeah, there must have been some contact then, I guess, with Eek and Dragos.
I will check the Taz in a moment as we stay on board with Lau. We've got Deck following behind. Tyres might
and
take
Cron
a little
is
bit.
Absolutely flying out front, 1.1. And climbing.
I think he was 8. He was 8/10. He was 8/10 though from when the VSC ended. Let's have a look downfield. So we got Huss, we got Luke following. We've got Rodo following Luke. We've got Marko Solanovic following Rodo. We've got Vess Messina, Craigo in 10th. So Craigo will be quite pleased with that. Staying on the back of this group. Mirko right behind Craigo. Only 2/10. No DRS yet, probably until lap 3, I suspect. And then we got Always Rick closing in on, so this is a train all the way from, pretty much from deck all the way through to Always Rick. Boris a little bit behind. I'm just going to check the TAS for damage. And we do have 6% damage on Vesmacina on his front left wing. Backer is asking, did Rick just overtake someone under the VSC? I don't think so, Backer, so stop picking on him. Younger brothers will get their own back later on as DRS is enabled. I wonder if Boris has deliberately, I wonder if he's deliberately kind of hanging back, knowing that he's probably, unless there's a safety car, he's probably not going to beat Cron, I wouldn't have thought.
Well, considering how close the whole field is, he's not in a bad position if he can make this one stop and the others do have to two-stop. I think like we'll see from last night, penalties will become a big part of this because it's very easy in Sector 1 to pick up a penalty, or at least a warning.
So Lau doesn't have DRS, but Deck does. As he goes up, he's going to go around the outside, he's going to have the job done. Lau's not going to go back up the inside, which is, oh he is, he's going to have a look, no he's not. Deck's got the run round the outside. I did see a low gear driver do a really nice move there around the outside last night. I couldn't possibly mention who that was. And then we got Val right behind his teammate Lau in 4th, and then we got Huss right behind his teammate. So we got an Aston AlphaTauri sandwich between 2 Red Bulls.
Yeah, and it's incredibly tight with them, and Luke's right on the back of them, and
yeah, but you know what's happened there, James.
Very close.
You know what's happened there, don't you? Luke's been having praying mantis lessons from Richie. So Richie will have been saying to Luke, just let them have a little fight first before you get stuck in. You just hold back a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah.
He's starting patient. Oh, bit of a spin there from Luke. He's starting to think like Richie. Richie's having that influence. Rodo's just dropped off the back of Luke as well, which that will give Luke a bit less stress and pressure, because he'll be thinking, right, I just got to follow these guys. I bet Colin's been in as well with issuing some setup tips. Oh, Luke went a bit wide there. Val's getting really close to his teammate here. I'm guessing that Laura and Val are going to be in party as well, so if
yeah, maybe there'll be some team orders coming up. And Marco's past Rodo.
Oh, we've got Evil Master joining us in the chat. Apparently he's can't race tonight because he's got some kind of wrist cramp. So I don't know whether that's an injury that he's carrying or just some excuse because he's scared of USA, one or the other. Ooh, Val, that was really tight on that track limits there. Looks like they're spacing out a little bit now and getting settled, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Deck's starting to gain a bit on Cron at the front. Cron had checked out, but Deck's starting to reel him back in it, and there's a yellow flag.
In sector 3.
Mirko spun, I think, on the last corner.
Oh, I can't go and have a look because I think I've already cursed him once in quali, so we'll have to take your word for that. Boris is up to 11th on those mediums. The only driver on mediums now with Dragos.
And Rick's on a bit of a charge through the field here. He's really close behind Vesmacina, incredibly close, nearly made contact.
Oh, Rick, round the outside. What a move.
What a move. Go on, Rick. Great move.
Ricky boy.
Get up the road to Rodo.
Working his way through the pack, proving Backer wrong.
Yeah, clearly that music at the start of the stream has got him pumped up somewhat.
Gave him the absolute buzz he needed. Oh, he's got Vesmacina coming back. He's got Vesmacina on the inside as Rick goes round the outside. Vespacina goes. Oh, hopefully there's no touch there.
Him a little bit.
Well, Mirko did pick up a little bit of, well, not a little bit, sorry. Mirko picked up a lot of wing damage. Just noticed on the Taz, 28%. Oh, as Rick follows Vespacina now, hopefully doesn't get a warning for that.
Yeah, I think Rick's, yeah, you can see out the exit there. He's
going,
just got such good pace at the moment.
Around the outside of the hardest corner of the track. Oh, Rick, what are we doing? I'm so nervous. He's gone double outside. Ooh, he's asking for that McLaren wing to be
unconventional areas, but he's...
he fancies this,
I imagine he's going to shove it up the inside here.
For want of a better phrase. As he goes round... Oh, no. Whoa, what a great battle this is. Oh.
Yeah, and it's great driving. Kind of forgetting there's a race going on elsewhere.
I know, yeah. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, but this is really close.
I'll have a look further up the field, see what's happening.
Rick's got some amazing pace in some really strange corners where you wouldn't think. He's all over the back of Vespacina like a cheap suit. And he goes down the inside on the fast left. Oh, my goodness me. He's got it stopped. He's got it stopped.
Rick's proving me to have no knowledge at all because he's overtaking you in all the places you wouldn't think.
Vespacina gets it back on DRS. Backer's saying Rick's really putting on a show here. He absolutely is, as Mirko picks up a 3-second penalty. What? This is amazing racing in the first. We're only on lap 6. As we jump back on.
Just to keep you updated on other things, there's the Red Bull and AlphaTauris, the sister teams, are still incredibly close at the moment.
These are in formation, aren't they?
Yeah. And Luke's just sticking with them.
Oh, we've got a yellow in sector 3. Rodo. DNF.
Out. I don't know exactly where he lost that. I'm trying to see on board with Equal now, if I can see where his car is.
Oh, that's a shame for Rodo, because he was having a really good race there.
Yeah, he looked like he had good pace.
And he's there.
He's lost it at the outside of the right-hander.
That's a strange place to lose it, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
whether he... You
no
never know if there's a bit of
so that's
contact
good.
into the braking zone there. Yeah, I guess Mirko and Equal would have been hoping for a safety car. Crago's pitted, though.
And Rick is climbing all over the back of Vespacina again. He's going to get DRS. He's going to get DRS now. Yeah.
Which has been his problem the last 2 laps when he's got through. He's just been easy pickings under the DRS.
Ooh, Vespacina's kind of popped off for a burger, I think, there. Just trying to... Yeah, oh, we've got a bit of weaving. Stewards, side by side. Come on. Oh, and he didn't get close to him there. I wonder if Rick's tyres are starting
to have a bit of patience here. Oh, and Val is past Lau.
Oh, 3-way battle, and Huss is right in there as well. Oh, and Luke. Yeah, we'll jump on board with this for a bit. This is going to get a bit tasty. Luke's getting fed up now, just sticking behind these guys. He's like, no, I've done what Richie said. I'm moving on now.
Yeah, and Rick's, whilst you're looking at that, I'll just keep you updated on the Rick situation. Oh, he's got a better run off on the last corner, but Vespacina just lost it a little bit, and a little bit of contact.
Coming into turn 1. Rick round the outside. Oh, no. Vespacina, yes.
Oh, he's done it.
He's got the job done. And he has been a little bit quicker through this section, so I wonder if Rick's just going to get a little bit of space here to be able to...
Yeah, and all that fighting, I mean, they weren't far behind Marco, but they've dropped back 4 seconds in about 3 laps there. Yeah, but Rick seems to have almost got it towards a second already.
I think Rick's
actually brought Boris back into play.
I think Rick's... You've got to remember that Vespacina is carrying a little bit of damage as well.
Yeah, you said he's got some more damage.
And he's got no ERS. So Rick's got 22%. He's below...
I tell you what, whilst watching that, Lau and Huss are side by side.
They are.
Very close racing here.
They are. And Val goes wide. He could have picked up a warning there. Has any Mirko picked up a penalty so far? This is where the tyre wear is going to start to come into play towards the end of the stint, depending on what the traction they've got and what setups they've got and how much spinning up they're doing. This is going to start.
And if they understeer wide, it's so easy just to pick up warnings non-stop.
Yeah, so Huss has got DRS. Law's got DRS. Lau.
And he's
going up the inside.
He's on the inside.
He is. He's nice
close.
and clean.
Nice and
clean. And look, all the time, Luke sat behind Huss goes up the. Oh no! Oh, Huss. Oh.
It was a bit of a snap moment there with you.
He did. He did. We weren't on board with him.
Yeah. He's just got front wing damage though.
And Luke has got wing damage.
You never know what can happen.
26% wing damage for Luke.
Yeah,
so that is really.
He came through, didn't he? There.
Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. I think Huss just lost that.
No.
Huss has completely
lost
his front
it on
wing.
He had the drive up the inside, and I think he just a bit too much on the throttle.
And look what this has done. Look who's in 7th place, working his way up through on those softs.
And looking at strategy-wise, Boris on the mediums is becoming very interesting because without having to make too many overtakes, he's found himself up in 8th.
And potentially might have preserved his tyres. I think Boris is definitely going to be trying for a one-stop unless there's a safety car. Rick's having a great run because this has brought him right back into play. And we've got to assume that Luke's going to come in for a wing.
Yeah, and
nicely moves out of the way. So that's
Rick,
Rick up into 6th place. Oh, Rick picks up a 3. No. Is he going in? No. Yes, he is.
He's going into pits, yeah. He nearly lost it. I think he just, again, I think getting on that curb on the inside, which looked like where he got the warning from, just dropped the back end.
I got no idea what happened there. I don't know whether whether that little penalty made his mind up for him. I'm not 100% sure. Craigo sets the fastest lap. Craigo's going to come out ahead of Rick. He is on the soft.
I think Craigo is a bit unfortunate if anyone's wondering why he's so far down. I think he pitted when it was a VSC.
Thinking
it ended just as going to end up in a safety car. Yeah, exactly.
Gamble.
So he clearly has the pace.
Gamble could have paid off. So Boris is now up into 6 on those mediums.
And with his teammate ahead of him. And Dex dropped back from Cron a bit here again. He had got within 2 seconds of him last time I checked, but after all the watching Rick and the Vesmacina battling, that could have been about 5 laps ago.
Dex pulled a bit of a really good gap there on Val. So 5 seconds plus the 3 seconds. So Cron's 8 seconds ahead of Val. And Dex 5 seconds ahead. So these two have actually... And Deck pits. Deck is pitting. So on lap 10, I'm guessing he's going to go for mediums to the end. We'll stay on board with Deck and we'll have a quick look through. Oh no, he's going on to the hards.
So interestingly, Boris is, I think, 14 seconds behind the leader. And if he's going to make the one-stop work and goes on to softs at the end, he could be absolutely flying. He's not out of this yet.
I do think that Cron's going to do a one-stop as well, though.
Yeah.
I think if you take your... got a yellow in sector 3.
Vesmacina.
If you take your softs... Ooh, Deck's struggling on these hards. If you take your softs to lap 10, then I think it's fair that you're going to do a one-stop. If not, you'd probably wear them out by about lap 8.
Yeah.
Get the best out of them and throw them off.
And I know from driving the hards yesterday that you just have to be so careful on them compared to the other tyres.
Are they a bit Kylie?
It's very easy to spin them up.
Are they a bit Kylie?
Very much so. Unfortunately, I did that on the mediums though.
Okay. Ooh,
I don't think it matters what tyres I'm on.
Rick's got DRS behind Craigo, so I think if we look at the gaps, and I'm not going to tempt fate here, I'm on board with Boris now, but looking at these gaps, Boris is within striking distance of possibly a podium.
I think so. And he seems to... Obviously, he's been on the mediums. If he gets onto the softs at the end, he's going to be on low fuel and the softs. We could see some absolutely flying times from him.
Yeah, and now we got Always Rick with the fastest lap. Come on, Ricky boy. And we got Lau right behind. So Cron's come in. Cron's pitted. So race leader has pitted, put on the mediums. I don't think anybody is catching Cron. Now, I think
he's had very good, consistent pace, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think
Vesmacina spun again.
In sector 3, hopefully that's not a safety car.
No, he's into the pit.
I think Deck may have made a little mistake on going onto those hards, which we won't really know until the end of the race. But when those mediums start dying off, Deck might be a little bit too far behind to react. He's currently 3 seconds behind Cron, 2.9. We'll have to keep an eye on that. What was it before they went in the pits? It was about 3 seconds still, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it was 8 including Boris, so...
Yeah, because then it was 5 seconds from Deck to the Alpha Tauris, wasn't it, behind that?
But Boris has got to take these mediums for probably another 8 laps, maybe 7 laps.
Yeah, and Cron's only 7.3 off the lead now.
Looks like we've got
so the Alpha Tauris might stay out. I mean, Lau's pitting now. Val's having to go a bit longer.
Yeah, so Val
might be leaving it a little bit too late and get undercut. Because Rick's only 17 seconds behind the leader now, so Rick could really potentially
bring himself back into
these guys in the pits. Yeah,
he is going to jump him. He is going to jump Lau, definitely. He's up into 5th. That undercut's worked well for him. Worked really well for him. Bakker's going to be having an extra whiskey now. Rick is in 5th. Does have a penalty, but then I'm guessing a few other drivers are going to pick one up as well later on. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And now Rick is behind Deck on track, but Deck's on those hards, so you expect to see him close in on him at least for the next 5-6 laps, and then I don't know if tyre wear will come into it.
I think the question here is going to be, can Rick also jump Val? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think that's a massive possibility, because whereas Lau's ended up coming out 4 seconds behind Rick, and I think from what Bakker's saying, Rick was 3.6 behind Lau before the stops. That's 7 seconds he's made up from that pit stop window. I think the Alpha Tauris have taken them too far.
Yeah, Boris is only 5 seconds, 4.9 behind Val.
Yeah, he's just kept it nice and tidy and clean here, Boris, and he's got a massive chance.
Matt Jono is saying that Boris should pit 15 or 16, giving him 12, maybe 13 on those softs, new softs. Doable. Maybe not with Boris's tyre wheel, I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to fight Cron here, that's for definite.
I think he'll probably try and take them to 18, will he, and get a good solid 10 laps on soft. But they're fighting, they're side by side.
He's having a go. Oh no, Boris.
He backs out of it, yeah.
Sensible move.
I think he's thinking about a championship there.
Yeah, definitely so, definitely so. And Rick has jumped Val.
He's massively closing in.
Rick's jumped Val.
And he's
Craigos
jumped
Val.
On this group ahead.
Marcos Solanovic has jumped. Marco's jumped Val. So that's really not worked out well at all for the Alpha Tauris, staying in on these softs. Staying out, sorry, on those softs.
Just has the undercut's been so powerful, hasn't it?
It's been massive, absolutely massive. So we've got a question: is Rick taking these tyres to the end? So they've done 3. I'm guessing he will, or he set himself. Oh, Vesmacina fastest lap. or he's set himself a target to rip the tyres to pieces and hope that there's a safety car and then go back onto the softs. I don't think that is the case. I think he'll be trying to take these to the end.
I mean, he did pit slightly earlier than some of the other pitters, but you think it's possible around lap 10, don't you, to get them to the end?
Softs?
They're softer mediums if you
I did
around
12 on my softs, but I had a very, very, very low diff because I knew that Matt would go in before me. So yeah, I did 12 on mine, and they were used. So on a new set of softs, you can definitely get 12, definitely. Boris will know that, though. Boris will know that. He's keeping up as well. So where is Boris going to come back out? But the undercut's going to work the reverse here, isn't it? Because now everybody's catching up to Boris, and then he's going to have that 23-second pit.
But his pace on softs and low fuel loads should be incredible at the end.
But he's got a lot of passing to do. Or Rick picks up another penalty. Be disappointed with that. He's having a great race.
Yeah, I was on board with him. It looked a bit unfortunate, to be fair. He still seemed to have most of his car on the actual track.
So if we have a look at the interval from the leader, so we got Boris 1.4 behind, and so if we add about 20 seconds to Boris's time, he's going to come out sort of behind Luke. That's a tough ask, that is, Jones. Tough ask.
It is, yeah, and he'll be in front of Mirko quite, well, it would have been quite comfortable. It's getting tight. It just really depends on the tyre wear towards the end of the race, doesn't it, here? I mean, I would like to say we know more, but obviously with the safety cars, they came at a point last night where I don't think we could fully see the extent to which the tyres degraded.
So we got Brian in the chat saying that fresh softs against warm mediums will be 2/3 of a second a lap faster. Is that 2/3 of a second, Brian, or is that 2 to 3 seconds? Could be both. I would be surprised if it's 2 to 3 seconds. So I would say 2/3.
Even so, it's an advantage, is what I think he's saying.
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm with him. I'm with him. I'm with him. Now, Rick's doing a great job.
It's just really not worked out for the Alpha Tauris, though, because they've also got. I mean, they've got people in front of them.
So just to give you a bit of an update on tyre wear. So Rick's tyres, he's done 5 laps, and his tyre wear is showing at about 18%. He's the only driver with equal tyre wear on all 4, so his setup must be perfectly balanced. So he's got 18% wear, and he's done 5 laps. So I would think Rick is going to try and take these to the end. I wonder if Boris is going to come in this lap. Let's move this back to the gaps.
So he's doing about 4% a lap then, Rick, on his tyre wear, with another 12 to go.
Yeah, Boris has got deck for company now as well. And Rick's going to have Marco closing in 1.4 seconds. So Marco's going to be trying to bridge that gap from now till the end of the race. Only got 2 laps newer tyres, Marco, but only 2% better wear. So as Deck goes past Boris, I think this is the lap that Boris pits.
Yeah, I'd think so.
Boris will be praying for a safety car about now, won't he?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him say in the chat during qualifying, obviously he had quite a quiet qualifying because of his ban. He said he was hoping for a P10, so I guess he's just happy to make this strategy work and pick up whatever points he can. Because he still has a 42-point gap lead at the moment.
I think all will become clear when we see what lap Boris pits and what kind of laps he can put in.
Yeah, I don't tend to make mistakes. I just make prophecies early on, and they always turn out to be wrong. So I wouldn't listen to anything I'm saying as it goes along.
No, well, I can't believe what Rick's achieved on that undercut, especially on the 2 Alpha Tauris.
Well, yeah, considering
to me
they
has been
were
the
4 or
surprise.
5 seconds up the road, and he came out, similar distance ahead of them.
Yeah, crazy. He pitted on, I think, lap 8 or lap 9, and they went 3 more laps on those softs, and he's gained about 6 seconds. So that is really, really powerful undercut.
And not to forget, he had the moment on the way into the pits where he obviously had to catch the drift.
Boris is staying out again. So he's now going to be on 10 lap softs. As we look at Boris's tyre wear, he's on 61% on his fronts. So Rick is now catching Boris in 4th. So if Rick plays this right, I know he's got those penalties, but if Rick plays this right, he could be looking for P4, maybe P5 at worst.
Yeah. And if he keeps it clean as well, there could be a lot more penalties we see from the other drivers. And
we've got Vesmacina in Sector 3, and he has crashed.
I think he may have retired in a pitch too, no?
No. Is that in the pits? No, it's in...
Oh no, where is it?
Looks to me to be on track. Jones has left the session, so I don't know what's happened there, Jones. Vesmacina's left the session as well, so I'll hope that Jones joins back in a minute. But there's no safety car, so that's kind of good news for everybody else. That's probably not good news for Boris. He was probably hoping that there was going to be a safety car there. Presuming that Boris is going to pit this lap, because his tyres are now on 64%, just gone 65. Is Boris going to pit? Let's have a look. He's not. He's staying out again. Boris is going for the non-stop. As Rick's closing in, got that gap down to 2.9 seconds. Marco, gap to Marco is 2.4 seconds. Val, this is the closest battle that we've got. Val on Marco. I'm guessing that Jones will join back in as soon as he can. Maybe he's knocked Stella over and shorted his power. Oh, there he is. He pops up in the chat. He's just decided to, halfway through, walk out. Nice one, Jones. Looks like we're going to have to finish this last 9 laps without you. Join back if you can. As Val goes past Marco. Good overtake using the DRS. Marco fights back. Ooh. Right, the bet's on. Is he going to pit? He is going to pit. He's not going to do a non-stop. Where is Boris going to come out? That is the question. Taking bets. Jones is protesting for Biscuit Gate. Yeah, Biscuit Gate's going to get big, I can tell you, Matt. Biscuit Gate is going to get big. He's going to come out in front of Craigo. So behind Mirko, on those softs. So when he gets to Mirko, we will join back. In the meantime, we'll follow Marco. Chasing down Val. We'll just have a quick look at some penalties. So we've got Always Rick with 6, we've got Mirko with 3 and Craigo with 3. So generally, these guys have kept it really clean. As we look at Boris's gap, still 2.9 to Mirko, so those softs not having an immediate impression. So we got Cron out front, having a nice little cruise. Cron with 23% tyre wear, so having a great run. In the lead, we got Deck in second on the hards. Deck chose to go on the hards, 6.1 seconds behind. We've got the flying Always Rick 2 in third, with a 3.5 second gap to Flying Boy Val, but does have a 6-second penalty, so that would put Rick probably in 6th place as Huss picks up a penalty. Huss had an incident that spun him out and took Luke's wing, accidental. And we're now going to go back down the field. So we've got Marco chasing down. Oh, Marco picks up a penalty. As these tyres start to wear, they're probably going to push these limits a little bit more. We've got Lauer in 6th. And we've got Luke working his way back up after that little bit of damage. Boris's gap is 1.1. Behind Mirko. He's already passed Mirko, really, because Mirko's got a 3-second penalty. So Boris, he's got a big gap to make up there of 6.7 seconds. So we've got Westy saying in the chat that he's shouting at Rick. So don't shout too loud. Don't put him off. Be great if Rick could somehow manage to squeeze a podium out of this. Boris is picking his move. We've got Luke closing up on Lauer as well. As he goes past Mirko. So that's 1 position gained. That's going to put him 7 seconds behind. So Boris has got a lot of work to do from there. In the meantime, we're back on board with Luke. And Jones is back.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that, mate? Was it something I said, or do I need to shower more often?
It happened to me last week. I think I got my P45 from...
yeah, Rick sending it electronically. Well, while you've been gone, have you still got access to the stream on as spectator, or are you on stream?
I am watching on YouTube, so okay. Maybe at least.
Bit of a delay. So we got Rick that's managed to pull a 4.4 second gap to Val, and Marco's got a 3-second penalty. So at the moment, Rick is in a P4, which would be fantastic, but he is really pushing that gap, and he's got 6 laps left, and the way that the gap's going, Rick could potentially get a 6-second gap,
and with it a podium.
But Luke's got no penalties behind Marco, but he's 2.4, 1.4, so that's 3. Yeah, so Luke's just out of range at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that. If Rick can build that gap to 6 seconds, Rick could be on for a podium. It's a big ask. Oh, Boris, fastest lap. It is a big ask, but I think it's possible. Boris has got that gap down from 6 seconds to 3.5 with Lau, but did pick up the 3-second penalty at the time of doing so. Good drive from Luke this after that unfortunate incident, because that spin from Huss was not intentional, and Luke was just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, and I've actually managed to get back in as spectator here to see the finale.
The Always Rick show.
Yeah, and Rick's up 11 places today. Unreal race for him, and
he's got that gap
really
to 4.8.
Putting on the show as well with
Yeah, he's got that gap to 4.8. So
he's obviously through on Marco, right?
He's obviously hitting. Yeah, he's obviously hitting his marks. Got into his rhythm and just concentrating. And sometimes when you're not trying as hard, you actually go quicker.
Yeah, you build up that smooth rhythm.
Lovely corner, Rick. He's just gone 4.7. He's still got 25% ERS as well. So, as you can tell, we are all secretly hoping that Rick gets a podium here. Oh, it's Cron.
Yeah, and it
picks up a 3-second penalty. Ooh, that's interesting.
And that'll be interesting with Dex Hards if there is a drop off towards the end of the race, if he can pull that gap in.
I'll throw another curveball in at you, Jones. What if Val picked up a penalty?
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's only an if. But it does seem like this sort of end of the race as the tyre wear's going off a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm watching. I was on board with Marco just then, and he seems to be struggling on those mediums a little bit.
43% tyre wear. So Rick's got 40% tyre wear. Val's got really good tyre wear, 28%. Mirko's got the worst tyre wear at 58%.
I would check the warnings for Jono.
Yeah, we aim to please on this stream, Jono. You just keep firing the requests in. We'll do our best.
It's like a radio station.
Pirate radio. 5.1. The gap is up to 5.1.
And I can't see Val with any warnings.
No, I mean, Val's had an awesome race. Lost an awful lot on that undercut, but he has had an awesome race. So, I mean, he deserves the podium for definite, but Rick's just had such a great comeback.
Rick's trying to spoil that party.
And would be if it wasn't for those penalties.
Yeah, Rick still got 2 warnings to play with to get that 9 seconds.
Yeah, well,
so
don't tell him that. Don't tell him that, Westy. And there's another one probably.
Yeah, so now he's got 1 warning.
It was a warning.
Curse of commentator.
Oh,
I'll stop looking at Rick before. Oh, that's a flying that.
It is. So that's
faster than all my qualifying times, I think, that one.
We've got gaps all the way through. So the main battle here is Rick and his comeback race. Boris is 1.4. Boris has not made that impact that we were expecting. Tyre wear for Boris is now 25%.
Yeah, and obviously having that 3-second penalty is just not helping him at all either, in terms of if he catched Lau.
Well, if he catches Lau, he's then got Luke and Marco. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That 3 seconds will play on his mind. Probably wondering whether it's worth the risk. Because are you going to get past? And as Marco picks up a 3 seconds, so that's put him on equal penalties with Rick.
I don't mean to make anyone nervous here, but we've got Cron and Rick getting a flashing fuel sign.
Oh no.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that's exactly what I'm being.
Rick's is not flashing on my screen, it's just, let me see if we can see in the TAS, if we can see fuel. I don't think we can see fuel. We do have a yellow fuel light on. We do Cron, and Rick, but not flashing on my screen. So that must mean we're getting quite low.
Yeah, that could be a problem with me walking out midstream.
What, you mean that you've underfueled their cars?
Sabotage, that's why I went for 10 minutes.
Is that what Biscuit Gate was all about? Was it about fuel levels?
I did see Jono, as I lost connection, say I think Jones has walked out over Biscuitgate.
That's
so
right, Biscuitgate.
There could be some more breaking news next week, maybe.
Maybe Biscuitgate's everywhere. Maybe we just don't know.
Yeah, and for Rick, he's just maintaining that gap now. He's not managing to pull it out.
No, but remember his tyres are a little bit older, so...
Yeah.
We've got
He'll
Luke.
just be hoping that Val starts cutting some corners or loses a bit of time.
Well, Luke's got a couple of laps here, and if Luke can get past Marco and close up a little bit... Oh, as Rick picks up another penalty. Oh dear, Rick. That's brought Luke up into play. So Luke could now... 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that kind of brings Luke into Rick's range. Marco's got a penalty.
8.4.
So Luke could be on for a P4 here.
Or a P5 if Luke can get past Marco and get up the road.
I think Luke's in a net P4 now.
Yeah. And just at the front, I don't think it's going to be enough, but Deck has closed up on Cron, but only 7/10 in the last 2 laps. He could do with finding a second somewhere.
And then another 4 seconds.
Well, he's got the free second
penalty.
penalty.
Of course he has. I was thinking.
The mathematics has got it. I don't know if anyone else can tell, but the mathematics has got out the window.
Why is Jones' Stella so much stronger than mine? Yeah, of course he does. Of course he does. He has the penalty. Yeah, see what you're saying.
I think it'll just be a little bit too much. I mean, it's the last lap now. He's
got
to find 2.7.
I think the pressure here is Luke. If Luke can get past, he's going to give it a go here.
Luke's just dropped out. He's now 9 seconds back. It is going to be right up to the last corner, whether he'll make it or not.
He is, and Luke probably doesn't know. He's going to have a look. 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 No, Marco defends. Marco,
and that's now up to 9.4.
Oh, and Boris is right behind Luke, but Boris has got a penalty as well.
Yeah, and Luke won't know about Rick's penalty, I don't think, at this point.
No, might not be able to see that on...
Certainly on track, I think it only gives you 2 people in front of you.
Luke's going to get DRS. This is going to be quite easy for Luke if he gets a good exit. I don't know what's going on. Have a look what's going on fuel-wise. Oh, and we've got a yellow in sector 2 and 3.
I don't know, but Luke's past Marco.
I think that's out of fuel. I think that's out of fuel.
Rick's out of fuel. Rick's out of fuel.
Cron's out of fuel. Cron's out of fuel. Deck is going to win this. So Rick is out of fuel. Cron is out of fuel. Val is not out of fuel. And Rick's got a 10-second penalty for cutting corners. What is going on? Val's going to have to go off track. Luke is going to get a podium. Val goes wide. Luke's coming up, closing this gap. What is going on? This is insane. It's a fuel battle.
Rick.
And Boris picks up a penalty. Luke goes into 4th. And
it's all changing in front of our eyes.
Oh, Rick finishes in 8th place. Oh, that is so unfortunate. And Mirko, no, 9th. Mirko comes through. And Craigo is coming across the line now. And I think the game gives you extra penalties when you have no fuel. If you cut the track with no fuel, I'm sure it's 10 second immediate. Oh, well.
And it all looks
great
like
race.
We had massive gaps. It all looked like it was just coming to a nice close, and then sector 3 happened.
Great race, though. Great race. Awesome race from Rick. Boris has done a great job. Boris gets himself up into 6th thanks to all those shenanigans. Deck takes the win because Cron was out of fuel, but Cron keeps 2nd place. And Flying Boy Val in the AlphaTauri finishes the podium. Luke up to 4th, which is a good result for Luke after that little bit of an incident. So good race from him. Lauer in 5th, Boris in 6th. Unfortunate for always Rick, down in 7th. Mirko in 8th, Marco in 9th, Eek in 10th, Craigo 11th, and Huss rounding out. Rick went, Taz has got it wrong. So we're looking at what's happened actually on screen. Boris is up to 7th. Marco is in 6th. Mirko is in 8th. Unfortunate for Always Rick in 9th, but a fantastic drive. No spinning around for Rick tonight, we'll be pleased to say. So Kylie Minogue will be back next week. Equal in 10th. Craigo in 11th. Huss in 12th. And then 2 DNFs for... 3 DNFs. We've got Vesmacina, Rodo and Dragos with that really unfortunate DNF at the start. So,
and I guess just a question for Rick's tune next week. Is there a Kylie Minogue song that is I'm Running Out of Fuel, or is that not one of her tunes?
I think that she did a tune which was called Running on Empty. But we'll have to
Close enough.
Yeah, we'll do the track dedication, the music dedication next week, no problem. So, in the meantime, I guess that you've invited some of our drivers to the party. I didn't manage to see if any of those have joined. Do we have the guys?
Usually I try and get on it much earlier. However, today it all changed within the last few seconds.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy. So have we got our 3rd place finisher, Val?
I'm not sure we've got anyone in yet. Maybe everyone's trying to
understand
have a
what
little
happened.
breather after that last few laps.
Okay, so we will wait a few seconds to see if any of the guys arrive. Usually Deck joins us for a bit of an interview. So if you are here, guys, speak up. I didn't manage to see the notification, unfortunately. And here we do. We have
Deck.
We have our Red Bull race winner on the hards. Deck, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good.
Congratulations on that unexpected win. Tell us what happened.
Well, I thought Cron was easing to a win. And then literally, last sector runs out of fuel.
You were. Did you think that you'd made the right decision moving on to?
I'm pretty harsh on the tyres. So for me, it was the right decision. But I knew. Well, I thought I wouldn't get the win when I saw Cron come out in the mediums, because he can seem to make tyres just last. So I knew he was going to the end. So yeah, when I knew I wasn't catching him, I thought I was kind of happy with 2nd place anyway. Because normally I get a load of penalties around here, so no, pretty happy.
Well, awesome, mate. Congratulations on the win. I do think that you were in the right place at the right time, and that's part of it. So you will have helped close that championship gap up for definite.
Perfect.
What about quali for you? How did quali go? Was that as you expected?
Yeah. I think when it was planned really, I wasn't. Oh, I was happy to be so close to Poe actually. I was expecting more penalties in the race. That was my biggest surprise of the day, I'd say.
Did you always plan to pit early onto the hards?
Yeah, that was always planning the 1 stop.
Good skills, good race, good result, mate. Congratulations. Anything else for Deck from you, Jones?
I mean, my heart's still slowing down after that last lap. I couldn't believe what was happening. We thought you would just come in to bring it home in 2nd. What would have thoughts go through your mind where, I guess you sort of time ticking down as you were coming around the last few corners to Cron? What were you thinking?
Yeah, it was like you said. In the last few laps, as soon as you start seeing the gaps not closing, his tyres aren't going, you just kind of think, all right, well, you got 2nd place, good points, and then I just see yellow flag come up, and then the gap started really closing down, and then
Did you think he'd had a spin or something, or was it you thought maybe that's a fuel issue, or?
I thought it was just tyres to start with, but obviously fuel.
Well done, mate.
No, but
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So as we move to our 2nd place finisher, the Fuel Master General. Now, Cron, some would say that you've been taking lessons from Boris.
Why?
Because I think that's Boris's speciality, running out of
Yeah.
fuel. Oh, mate,
I don't know.
congratulations, though, on an awesome race. You had amazing pace all the way through. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a great race. The quali was good. I'm not happy with the qualifying because I lost the 1/10 on the last corner. So I missed the first place, but nevertheless, the second was very good. And the race, I couldn't believe that I had such a good pace. I really, I really made it. I owned it the whole race. I was driving my own race, so it was all good. And the last few laps, I look and I see I was in red with fuel. I don't know how. I really don't know how because I put it 28.2 laps.
28.2.
Point two, yes. I don't know how you got in
Well,
red. I was
Well, because
minus,
the race is 28 laps.
no 27. No. Sorry. I put 29.2.
Ah, okay, 29.2. Yeah.
29.2. So when the virtual safety car was out, I didn't put it on low fuel because I know I didn't need it. I overfuel it. I guess not.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think normally 1.5 laps is about the middle ground, and anything below that, if there's no safety car, you run the risk a little bit. But I mean, never.
Yeah, but Boris put 28.7, and he made it.
28.7. Well, we'll have to inform the stewards about that and the FIA because maybe he's using
Maybe
using
some fuel injection
a
issues
different
there.
type of fuel. So we're going to have Biscuitgate and Fuelgate.
Biscuitgate and Fuelgate.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going off. Well, you had awesome pace, Cron. Absolutely awesome. So anyway, even if you didn't get the win, congratulations because it was.
Yeah, thank you.
You were in another league tonight for definite. And were you always doing a one stop?
Yeah, I guess I learned how to keep my tires. I'm not sure on how much percentage I was now, but I think I didn't wear it too much because I didn't lose time at the end.
Well, I can tell you that you finished the race on 43% on your left and 44 on your right.
18 laps.
Mm.
I think I made
40%.
it. Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe it. It's like last race when I didn't stop when it was raining. I did it with one tires the whole race. So my pace was good till the end, and just last two laps I leave the throttle because I'm trying to save the fuel, and I didn't.
Well, I think the lesson that we've all learned there, Cron, thanks to you, is that you can have the best tyres in the world, but if you've not got fuel to power that engine, tyre wear doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right.
But brilliant race, mate. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
and there was an awesome race going on behind you as well, which you wouldn't have seen. So yeah, certainly made for good viewing. A couple of guys, Rick and Boris, awesome sort of ride through the pack. So yeah, congrats to you both. Do we have Val in the party or?
No, he didn't join, unfortunately.
He didn't join, so that's all done. So look, congratulations, guys. We're going to finish the stream there. Thank you for joining for the podium interviews. Certainly helps us out, and we look forward to seeing you at the final round next week in Spa, Belgium. Do you both like that circuit?
Yep.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
Forgive us if we don't believe you, Cron. You'll probably go out and set the pace. Well, anyway, have a great week, and we'll catch up with you next week. That's everything from our side. Thanks to Jones for joining me in co-coms. Makes life a lot easier, even though he did disappear for 5 minutes. I'm sure you nipped off to get a Stella.
Yeah, I just run out. That was all it was.
So we will be back tomorrow evening at the same time, 7:30 for High Gear around USA. So if you've enjoyed the stream and you want to join RPM, you can scan the QR code and that will take you through to our Discord. Thanks again to Jones. Thanks for the drivers. And we will see you next week, hopefully on Midgear, for the final round of the season and to find out the conclusion of Biscuitgate and the FIA investigation into RPM Richie bribing McLaren with a chocolate biscuit or two. So thanks, Jones, and we will catch up soon.
Cheers.